Hi Aries, thanks for joining me. Well, here we go with the February 2020 Aries Tarot reading, the third part of the fire signs readings for 2020 February. We've got the Tarot in Wonderland deck, which seems to be very popular and I enjoy using it. So what is card number one? I've done the shuffling already because it takes forever to upload these videos. What is card number one in this reading for the sign of Aries? February 2020. It's number 8. It's strength. So that's actually Leo energy. So it is fellow fire sign energy, if you like, Aries. So this could be a Leo around you, or this could very well be the influence of Leo in your birth chart somewhere. And this card is speaking to that. Number 8 is a great number, as above, so below. It's the 8 of eternity, so it's a very strong position to be starting with, particularly being the strength card. Now, Alice is holding the deer to her heart, no doubt, and she's holding it and keeping it safe. So what are you hanging on to, Aries? Maybe you need to let go of what no longer serves you. But even more than that, maybe you're overprotecting someone. Maybe you're kind of giving too much into a situation, and maybe that's actually holding you back to one extent or another. You just never know. It's a very dark scene, isn't it, in this card? But we have got the lapis lazuli colour of spirit connection and a fair bit of turquoise showing through of truth here. But the turquoise really needs to come out and be stronger. So speak that truth. Work on the throat chakra if you can. Do yourself a little chakra meditation, Aries. I am absolutely certain that would help. In the traditional Rider-Waite view of this card, it's somebody with her hands in the lion's mouth, showing that she fears nothing. Alice is showing a little bit of fear here, I think. That's just the way it looks. So really remember that need to be as fearless as you can, because 2020 is a year of huge changes. As I keep saying in my astrology videos, the solar system is moving into a new part of the universe where it's much less protected, and Alice is partly protected by all these trees we can see in the dark in the background, and we just know she's going to have to move on from there sooner or later, even if it's only to get something to eat. But more than anything, Aries, it's coming out into the light, and this is a great card at the beginning of a reading because it shows that you actually can come out into the light, and it shows that you've got the strength to do it. So get in touch with your inner Leo, wherever that is, and think about any Leo people you might know. If you haven't had a birth chart done, all the big astrology websites do them, so do get one. It's quite an important thing if you want to follow astrology, and the way astrology links up with the tarot is it's very close to the human heart. It really is, and it's close to the divine as well. So get that birth chart done, see where you are, but this is where you stand, Aries, as we go into February 2020, and as we really go into the rest of the 2020 year, which is one of huge changes. So what's the second card in this spread for the sign of Aries? Let's turn it over. Two of Swords. So there's a decision to make. Now, sword cards are to do with the air signs. So this is Gemini, it's Libra, and it's Aquarius, somewhere deep within your soul and somewhere around you as well. The people around us tend to be drawn to us. Well, they're always drawn to us for one reason or another. We have links with people that last really throughout eternity. Everybody we know, everybody we meet in this life is somewhere in our actual, in our karma, I suppose, if we see karma in its true sense. The relationship with the divine. So we could see these two swords as the human and the divine actually crossing over. And if we're really going to get anywhere with this decision that needs to be made, we need to try and be single-minded about it. Now, we've got the grinning Cheshire Cat image here, and this shows up very strongly in this deck as the Hierophant card. So that's about getting in touch, not just with divine, as in, you know, the angels and something that's out and away from yourself, but it's all part of your own higher chakras, God within people, the divine within people. Just really, you know, if you don't believe in God or any of that stuff, then it's just what's most important to you. And that's what really matters here, even if you do believe in God. It's about what's most important to you. Alice is well and truly blindfolded here, and it's difficult for her to see a way forward. But the waters are behind her. She's on solid ground here, and so she has got what it takes to make the decision. If she didn't have the blindfold on, she'd be able to actually read these signs. Let me just have a look, because I can't read them upside down like that. I can't read them the right way. Oh, yes. Ah, yes. She can either go and see the Mad Hatter. That's this one. This one, or the Mad March Hare. And in the story, in the Alice in Wonderland story, she is told very truthfully, actually, that she can either go and see the Mad Hatter or the Mad March Hare to get advice. It doesn't matter which one she goes to, because they're both mad. And that's what worldly influences are all about. So maybe it's better that she has got the blindfold on. But this is the heart of the matter, Aries. So just as I'm almost calling this come out of the closet, and be aware that you've got the strength to do it, then do be aware that it's going to be good to get that blindfold off sooner or later if you're really going to make any progress, and if you're really actually going to get anywhere in a definite way in terms of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to make happen in this life. There's the darkness of night all around here. And you can see a halo of light around the grinning Cheshire Cat, which is symbolising her own higher self, and maybe the truths that she is seeking as well. They're quite strongly indicated here. We've got lots and lots of darkness, but in that darkness is the lapis colour of spirit connection and the turquoise of truth again. And there's just not enough of that turquoise of truth here, Aries. So really focus on being able to speak your truth and be yourself. There's nothing selfish about being yourself and working on yourself, because you just can't pour from an empty vessel. The vessels here are far from empty, by the way, but they might as well be empty if the truth doesn't actually come out into the light and if the real things don't actually start happening here. Okay, so the heart of the matter here is this decision, which way to go. And because it's a sword card, an air sign card, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius card, I'm thinking of Gemini here because it's just, the possibility of going two ways, and maybe in actually coming to resolve the way you want to go and what you want to get out there and make happen, you could actually bring the two things together and make one decision, which actually kills two birds with one stone, for one way of putting it, because there are shadows all around here, and what's hidden in the shadows may be truth as well as it might be anything else. So do think about that. Can you do something that brings things together? Because these two swords are very real, and they do both need to be thought about, they need to be worked on, and somehow they need to be sorted out. So where are we going? Let's have a look at the third card in this 3-card tarot spread for the sign of Aries. Fire signs, February 2020. Where are we going? Well, we need to know where we're going, you see, and that's why we've got to come to this decision, because the Knight of Wands has come into it now, and this is very close to you. This is fire sign energy, so it's you, Aries. It's also Leo, Sagittarius around you, or within you, or in your birth chart, or something, but the fire is burning bright here because it's a wand card, and it's the Knight of Wands. He's very senior in the suit of Wands. He's quite egotistical, that's the only thing. He's more of a Leo than anything else, but we do actually need to convince him that we've got some good ideas and that we are actually going in a positive direction. The horse here looks like it could really take off and go fast, but it's sort of plodding the way it's been painted here. It's plodding along. It's not, its tail is down. It's not really going any place. But the knight, the Leo knight here, his tail is up very loud and proud. In fact, he's got more going on with him than the horse has. So he's more convinced of the truth of his journey than he is in his ability to actually do anything. And if this is somebody around you, or even if this is something within you, there needs to be a convincing set of arguments and a convincing state of affairs coming out of the Two of Swords here and going forward in order to make him really think it's worthwhile. The great thing about the Knight of Wands is sooner or later he'll forget about you. So if you don't want to go on the journey that he's going on here, he's very full of himself and he will forget. So just keep your head down. Everything's a cycle and you will get a chance to go forward again, actually very soon, because he doesn't remember these things for long. But we've got the wand of progress there. It is actually looking very positive if you do want to go along with him. So keep that in mind. Think about that one. And we've got a much clearer blue sky here than we've got in either. Well, there's no sky at all in this one. This one's very dark. But this is really full of the light of day. this card, and there's a certain amount of gold in the fact that the lion it's a golden colour, isn't it? So in terms of reaching for the stars, reaching for the skies, that's what you need to do. Now, if this character represents a relationship and this is all about love for you, then remember the nitty-gritty underneath love, what underpins it, what makes it real, and do try and keep it as real as you can, because relationships happen, and they are very much a real life thing, and it's all about what influences you bring to it and what influences the other person brings into it. But whatever it is, there's a real strong possibility of fast progress if you want to make it. Now, if you don't, Aries, don't feel you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. If you really don't want to go along with this, that's fair enough. He'll be off on his way before too long, because this horse isn't standing still. It is actually moving, and the Knight of Wands here is certainly minded to get it moving as fast as he can. So, you can see this as part of you, or you can see this as around you in some way, but it is actually part of what's going on. It's definitely a part of the way forward into 2020, Aries. So keep that in mind, get moving, and do what you must, really, They say sort of do what you will shall be the whole of the law and all that kind of thing. Well, that's getting very magical with it indeed. But we come to this world with a mission, with something we've actually got to do. And that's another reason why it isn't selfish at this stage and at this stage to work on yourself and to protect yourself. And it's equally the reason why it isn't selfish if you don't want to go on this journey, if you don't feel drawn in that way. But if it's just fear that's making you not want to go on this journey, remember the strength, which you do have in your heart. Otherwise, this card would not have come up. It really wouldn't. So get cracking, get busy, and really the thing to be doing at the moment, Aries, is to be working on this decision, and it looks like it might be quite hard work to me. So make some space, take some time to meditate if you possibly can. If you can't make a real long hours and hours time to sit and meditate, don't worry about it. We do all get lulls in our day, even if it's just a few minutes before going to bed. We all get time to stop and think. And just don't put the decision off, okay? Because this really is the heart of the matter, and this really is where things are going. Well, I'll end this one there. Thanks for watching. Thanks very much. I'm keeping these quite short at the moment just because it takes forever and ever to upload a video to YouTube from my little place in the country. That's my kind of spiritual side to things, which it always stops me getting too much involved with the internet. I wish I could do more. I really do. And I will be doing more. We'll get on to the cup signs next, the water signs next. Sorry, because it's the suit of cups that goes with water signs. And pretty soon I'll be doing the readings for March. They will be longer, and they will be very individual as well. But this is an individual one for you guys, Aries. Part 3 of the fire signs for February 2020. Have a fantastic February 2020. Don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell so you don't miss anything. Do leave me a comment, guys. Please let me know where you stand on this and if this is making sense to you. It's great to know who's listening, and it's great to know that it's hitting the spot. And people have been telling me that these readings hit the spot quite nicely. That's great. I can provide a much better reading if I've got some kind of idea who I'm talking to as I'm meditating and shuffling the cards. So subscribe, leave me a comment, thumbs up please if you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace to you.